You are now checked in to Stand Up New York Labs. Oh, yeah.
Hey, gang, it's Joe List, and I'm here to talk about fantasy football. Boy, if there's one thing you know about Mark and I, it's we love fantasy football. That's why you should go to FanDuel.com and use the promo code Tuesdays to get involved with FanDuel. Boy, we love this stuff. We play it all the time. It's one of the only things we do. We do comedy, and we play on FanDuel. They're paying out $75 million a week over there. This is the only place to go for your fantasy football needs. You can play when you want, immediate cash payouts. You can watch along on the website, desktop, mobile apps. We're talking Android, iPhone, iPod. I did it. There's the big contest over there, the Sunday Million. That's the big one. Week 1 of the football season is coming right up, September 13th. You can bet on my New England Patriots if you'd like. And you got to get involved in this. Use the fan code Tuesdays. Get it cooking. $75 million a week. I literally know a guy, it's going to sound like I'm making this up, I know a guy, he won $10,000. 10,000 clams, folks. 10,000 big ones. 10,000 nips. FanDuel.com, special offers for new users. Maybe you're thinking, I've never used it before. Well, you get yourself a special offer if you're new to it. And also you get a special offer if you use the promo code Tuesdays. That's FanDuel.com. Go over there and have some fun. It makes the games more fun. And enjoy the season and enjoy the pod. We love you. Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, good to be back here. Come on. Oh, God.
I want everyone to email who they thought was making which noise.
Uh-huh.
That'll be a fun game. We haven't gotten an email in a while.
Oh, really?
We get like one a week.
Yeah.
It's amazing the power of the podcast, because whatever we recommend doing, people seem to do.
That's true. Please donate. We got a donate button.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the donate. Is that working, John?
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Go on the site, the Stand Up NY Labs.
StandUpNYLabs.com.
Click on the entertainment button.
Entertainment button.
Click on the entertainment.
Tuesdays.
Click on Tuesdays.
Click on Tuesdays.
Donate.
And then click on donate.
There you go.
So you can go and donate now.
Yes.
We're trying desperately to keep the studio alive and make a living. We're poor. We're hungry. The studio's decrepit. The paint's falling off. I'm hungry.
I've got gangrene and gout.
Yes, that's a scary gang.
And they're green.
Blood, Crips, and Greens. Those are the 3 scariest gangs.
The greens are healthiest.
You know the Bloods and Crips are in Minneapolis? Big time.
Is that right?
That's what I heard. I don't know. It might be a rumor.
Underrated city.
Oh, I love Minneapolis.
And St. Paul is nothing to sneeze at, but it gets no love.
It's the Twin City.
Yeah.
I like St. Paul. I did a rock club in St. Paul with Gary Gulman.
I love a rock club.
Yeah, it feels good.
You fill out a rock club, you feel like a real entertainer.
You feel like a rock star.
Aha. That's something I've never wanted to be.
A rock star?
Yeah, everybody wants to be I don't get it.
That's all I've ever wanted to be. What do you mean you don't get it?
I mean, when I think of rock star, I think of Def Leppard. Or is it Def Leppard?
Blind Tiger.
That's the one.
That was one of the first jokes I ever wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, what if there was a band called Blind Tiger?
That sounds cool.
I think there's probably been that joke since, or there's been a movie or something like that.
Fat Rhino.
But I remember being like a kid and being like, instead of Def Leppard, Blind Tiger, and it was like a formula for a joke. I remember being like, I'm smart.
That's a good form.
Yeah, not a bad form.
Yeah.
Mark Formand.
Blind Tiger, I like better.
Yeah, well.
I picture a tiger with sunglasses and a stick.
I'd have a drummer with 2 arms, I'll tell you that.
Aha. Wait, what? Oh,
Rick Allen, he lost his arm.
Oh, really?
And continued to play. What he did was he got a pedal for the snare drum. That's how he did it.
Ah.
That's how you drum with 1 arm.
Interesting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, wow.
But
wow.
anyway, but you don't want to be in Def Leppard?
No. I don't want to have long hair and wear fucking leather pants. And...
Yeah, but some rock stars have short hair.
Oh, I'd be that.
Well, that changes everything.
I guess I
So
would.
you don't want to have long hair, is all you're saying.
I don't want to be glam rock.
Aha. No, I don't want to be glam rock. The spandex are very tight, and then you're sweating in them. I don't know how you get them off.
Well, also, every interview with a rock star and athlete, I might add, is so fucking boring to me. They never seem that interesting.
You might add. Are you adding? It feels like you are adding.
I guess I added.
You am adding.
I add.
Yeah, you added.
I add.
Yeah, you never subtract.
I got ADD. I'm adding.
Okay.
But
Well, you subtracted just then, but that's all right.
subtracted isn't sucked.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, is that what you meant?
That's accusatory.
Oh, I didn't know what you meant.
Well, I don't know what I meant either.
All right. Well,
Whatever makes you happy. If it makes you happy. What's your Sheryl Crow policy?
She's a looker.
She's cute. I have all her album covers. That's an old joke.
Ah.
I can't wait for her box set.
Ah.
My friend Jack Lynch used to do those. I mean, it's not like an old joke. It's a
Right.
joke that he did.
Aha. Box covers.
Yeah, I had all her album covers. Instead of albums, you had album covers.
That's
you see?
funny, yeah.
I think he used Shania Twain, if I remember correctly.
I don't understand these musicians that come and go. That's why I like comedy. Carlin was going around forever.
Well, plenty of comics come and go. You haven't heard from Freddie Prinze in a while.
Well, he died.
Right, but there's some other ones from the 80s that you don't see around. Jeff Goldblum or whatever that guy's name was.
He's around.
Some of those guys, you watch those Tonight shows, the people that have the Tonight Show, and they don't do
Right.
comedy
Oh,
anymore.
that's true. That's true.
In fact, I would say musicians stick around more than comics. You just named the Beatles of comedy.
Well, my thing is, Sheryl Crow is wildly popular. She probably had some number one hits on
Yeah.
the Billboard, and then nothing. You don't hear from her in 5 years.
Well, she might just not have any hits, but some comics have shitty acts. You know.
But I mean, a good comic is usually all like Seinfeld is there.
Maybe she's not that good. But you're naming Seinfeld and Carlin. That's like saying the Beatles
right.
and the Stones and Led Zeppelin. You still hear from them.
Well, Robert Hawkins is still working.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
But that's like the equivalent of a band. Robert Hawkins is like, I don't want to say, like, there's bands that are like, I'll be like, I'm going to see Pearl Jam. And people are like, are they still around?
Uh-huh.
And you're like, yeah, they sell out 18,000 seat arenas
Yeah.
all over the planet.
Pearl Jam I'm aware of. They're around. They're doing MSG. They're doing this in the garden.
They're not as in the limelight.
Yes,
But
yes.
Robert Hawkins never was. Robert Hawkins is like the Pixies or something like that.
Yeah. he's
Where there's
the
like people that are
Pixies.
like, yeah, you don't know about this, but this band is unbelievable. Go check out Robert Hawkins, by the way. The
Super
guy's like
funny.
one of the best ever.
Yeah.
But some people just never got a break. I mean, it's an unfair business.
Well, I guess I don't like the cool factor. Because to me, you get the cool. Well, there's a lot of reasons I hate the cool factor. One, it makes people famous who shouldn't be just because they're cool.
In all aspects of entertainment.
Yes. And then when they're not cool anymore, people don't give a shit.
Of course.
I just want to be like Louis C.K. He's cool right now, but he'll still be a good comic when he's not cool.
Of course. And that happens with musicians all the time. I mean, Pearl Jam is that example.
Uh-huh.
They were like the cool band in 91, 92.
Right.
And now all the people that thought they were cool are like, do they still exist? They haven't had a good album. And you're like, have you listened to the album? And they're like, no.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're like, well, they're pretty amazing albums, really.
Well, I guess my problem is with the audiences, with the common folk. Because if something's not hip or in their face, they check out.
That's right. But our fans are very hip. And I think
Very
we have
hip.
smart, quality fans who are
Yes.
kind, too.
We're Iggy Pop.
Aha.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
I'm not a big Iggy Pop guy.
I'm not either.
I like Iggy Pop, Raw Power, and some of those ones.
Maybe we're more the Ramones.
But Iggy Pop is a guy you haven't heard from in 25
that's
years.
true, but still looks great shirtless.
I'm sure he's working.
Somehow.
The peanut butter smear, that was fun.
That was big, yeah.
Yeah, I like a peanut butter smear.
Maybe we're Green Day? I don't know who we are.
Oh, we're not Green Day.
All right. Well, yeah, they had a musical on Broadway. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was odd.
I loved Green Day, and then they started anything with a drum machine or a voice effect. I'm out. I like raw materials.
Yes.
And yeah, but I still like Green Day. But I loved Dookie. I thought was
Dookie
terrific.
was killer.
And Nimrod I loved, and Kerplunk, and those were all fun.
Yeah, Billy Joe. I remember watching him on SNL and being like, he looks like me. Like,
They were
they
yeah.
looked like normal guys.
yeah, you guys
know?
have similar looks.
Yeah.
They were amazing at Woodstock 94. I thought they stole the show. They started a big mud fight, and they were playing Welcome to Paradise, and it was like a wild mud scene.
Yeah.
It was really terrific. I saw them at WBCN River Rave in like 96, and they set the stage on fire and they jumped through the drum kit. It was really fun. Yeah, I think they're terrific. And then Trey Cool is one of my favorite rock drummers ever.
He's good.
With the rolls and the bings and the tings.
Oh yeah, the sweeps, the bleeps, and the creeps.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Well, it just bugs me how, and the same with fashion. I hate cool. Anything cool, I hate.
Yeah, but we're pretty cool.
We're cool, but we do it on our own terms. God damn it.
We're cool because we're ourselves.
Ah, yes. And but these guys, they go out, they buy a shirt. These shirts are in. It's got some douchey flap on the shoulder and a weird button-up thing, and then 2 years later you can't wear it anymore. Then you get made fun of for wearing that thing that was so cool.
That's one of my points of pride in my life is I've essentially worn the same thing. There's nothing you can show me where I'm like, oh, how embarrassing. What was I doing?
I'm totally with you.
I got t-shirt, jeans, and New Balance sneakers for 30 years, and I've never looked back.
I want timeless. I want you to see a photo of me in 1978 and go, yep, that's about it.
Yeah, you pull up a picture of me in 3rd grade. I go, yeah, that's what I look like.
Same guy, 6'3".
Yeah, pretty good.
I'm with you. I buy a shirt, and I want that shirt to last till the shirt actually floats away.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you, I would like to be a rock star as myself in the same cool way, because with a rock star, how cool is it? First of all, there's not as much pressure to put out stuff. You can play the same song over and again. It's a hit.
It's encouraged to play the same shit.
That's what they want. And then they all sing along, and there's more of a spiritual moment with music.
That is the connection is beautiful.
They're all singing your song, and the comedy, that never happens.
Yeah.
Although I do remember Dane Cook would hold the mic out and everyone would yell, "Fuck this game!" That was pretty unbelievable.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But with music, and also you get the group. You get to share it with people. Afterwards, you're with the people,
right,
and you're like, that was great, you were great, you hit that note, and you hit that drumstick, and whatever.
Well, the interesting thing about music, too, is that the lyrics kind of come second. The song has to be catchy for it to hit, for it to become like a fave, and then you start listening to the lyrics and you're like, wow, this is well written too.
Right.
But the fact that you can just like a song because it's catchy is a huge perk, because we can't have a catchy joke. The joke has to be killer out of the lyrics of the joke have to be killer out of the gate.
True. But some would argue that there are catchy jokes where they're telling it a certain way.
Like a rhythm.
And guys or girls like us, comics, or good comedy fans are like, there's actually nothing there. So there are some. I think some people...
Like a Cosby or a Simon. What's the deal? He had a rhythm.
No, those guys are great. I think more people would make the argument with Dane Cook, who I am actually a fan of, but I think a lot of critical people would be like, he's just jumping around and saying it in a funny way. He's just saying the same thing over and over.
Right.
That might be someone that people make a critique of, though I'm a fan. Yeah. Or I was a fan. Some of the stuff more recently I haven't cared for. But there's certainly a lot of acts that we see around the city. I don't want to name names, obviously, but there are people that are yelling or jumping or doing something weird where you're like, you're yelling because you don't have anything.
Oh, of course.
And that's the equivalent of like a poppy bullshit. And the audience eats it up.
Yeah. All right. I guess you're right. Yeah.
And you can also be hacky, which is the equivalent of like, pop trash music. I think.
Just seems weird to me to put up a poster in your room of Snoop Dogg and then one day take that down. If you like Snoop Dogg, you like Snoop Dogg. That's how I feel.
I still got Pearl Jam posters.
Yeah, that's what I like about you.
And my wall, I got a Rolling Stone with Eddie Vedder on the cover. I got a Steve Martin. I got a lot of comedy stuff up there. And I got I still like
these people who their lives are ruled by what's in.
For sure,
it's sad to me.
It is
sadness.
Sad. It's sad.
They wear the haircut a certain way. They buy the clothes a certain way. It's all going to go away. It's why I don't vote.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Wow. This president, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's going to be gone soon.
I mean, that's but he has an effect for a few years.
It's a leap.
But I'm voting for Bernie Sanders, folks.
You don't like this Trump character.
I love Trump.
I love him too. I think he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He's fun.
It's a
silly
comic book. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. He's got the hair and the lips.
The lips and the sayings and everything. Make America great again, and Mexicans are rapists.
Yeah, he's like wearing a red mesh hat with the buckles in the back. I mean, it's fucking classic.
And he's doing like football stadiums and shit.
And he's actually changing the game because he's so politically incorrect.
Yes.
And he's grabbing these headlines where people are like, we have to talk like that now.
Right.
It's fun.
And then there's always that one guy who goes, he knows what he's doing.
Right.
He knows he's being a pump, blah, 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 blah. And you go, I know. We all know.
Interesting. What do you think of this term anchor baby? Are you offended?
I'm hearing that a lot. What does that mean?
It means, cause somebody, I guess in the Constitution maybe, amendment, something, diplomat.
7 weeks.
Yeah, whatever that is. There's something that's, if you're born in this country, you are an American citizen. Mm-hmm. So this anchor baby business, I guess, is these people come in, and correct me if I'm gay, people come in, sorry, Jesus Christ.
Funny sentence. Keep it.
Sorry, we'll take it out, don't worry.
Oh no, take that cock out of my ass.
So people will come, I guess, that are foreigners, and then they'll get pregnant and have a kid, and so then their baby is a legal citizen, because they were born on this land, and they call that an anchor baby,
right?
Which I guess is they came over on an anchor. I don't know the anchor part. Because they're anchoring the family
into the country,
I guess.
Yeah, and that's good, or are we not? We don't like them. We like them.
Well, it's a slur.
Oh, it's a slur.
Jeb Bush used it. He said these anchor babies, and then people jumped on him.
And he's implying that you only had a kid to stay here.
Right.
Aha.
But that's an old, it's like it's like wetback or,
right.
Some other slur. I'm not too familiar with slurs. I don't like to dabble.
I love a slur.
Well,
I don't condone them. I just think they're funny words.
Of course, they're hilarious, but they're becoming less hilarious now in this day and age.
Yeah, well, people need to get on board the slur train. Choo-choo.
I was talking about this the other day. Well, that's a weird one because anchor baby, the babies aren't even going to hear it. They're fetuses. They're babies. They don't know. So you can't even, people get offended. It's the thing we're always talking about. You're getting offended for someone else.
Yes.
You're offended for an infant.
It's like a retarded person. The retarded guy, you can call a retard to his face with your finger in his face. Hey, you retard. He'll just hand you a lollipop.
Well, he's going to have to be pretty retarded for that. I think a lot of them are pretty sensitive, and then they have that strength.
They do have the strength, yeah.
They can beat you up.
But I think retards are cool.
I've met some cool ones.
They seem pretty chill and nice.
I think it's Down syndrome, though.
Ah. What do you mean?
Like, that's like a medical term, I think. They have Down syndrome, or they're differently abled.
Yeah, I think it's Downsy.
That sounds like a towel company.
It soaks up everything.
Downsy.
Get your Downsy paper towel.
It spills and then soaks up.
The ad would be a retard knocking over a pitcher of blue liquid. Get Downsy.
I think I had this thought yesterday with the PC. We got to be close to a point in time. Maybe I talked about this in the podcast already, where the term "guys" is no longer acceptable.
Yes.
If there's a group of men and women, you go, "What's up, guys?" And that's not offensive. But that's got to change soon.
I've been yelled at that.
Mark my word. You've been yelled at already?
A girl was like, "I'm not a guy," and I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, mark my words. That'll be taboo by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah, Mark Normand, his words.
Hey guys, whoa! It's we're not. It's people.
Yeah, I mean I agree. I kind of agree with that one. I'm not against that.
All right.
They're not. I mean, I'm not. I'm going to keep doing it until I get yelled at again. But
why do you agree?
I just see where they're coming from because they're not guys.
I know, but it's proverbial.
I know, but I can see what they're saying.
They're offended by that. You can see why they'd be offended.
I can.
They'd be hurt.
Well, people are offended by, everything. So this one I could also see happening.
Oh, you can see it happening, but you don't condone it.
I don't condone it. No, I don't condone any of this shit. You can call me a honky, white devil, cracker, mofo, blue-eyed piece of shit.
But you got brown eyes.
I know.
Yeah, that's because you're a piece of shit.
When are the brown-eyeds going to get our due? It's always Mickey the blue-eyed devil.
What are you talking about? Brown-eyed girl.
No, I'm saying no one ever attacks a brown eye.
Aha.
Unless it's with a dick.
Yeah, brown eye.
Yeah, but how about this? It's so funny because when you shorten a term, it sounds so much worse, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like if you go, hey, you fucking Jew, it sounds a lot worse than, hey, that Jewish guy.
Of course, but you also said it differently.
I said fucking at one point.
Yeah.
But Jew does sound worse than Jewish.
Well, similarly, but conversely, I don't know what any of these words mean, folks, but I don't like Converse. You ever wore Converse?
There's no soul.
Those All-Stars are terrible.
I feel like I'm walking on wood.
You look like a big nerd, those All-Stars.
No, I think they look cool.
Me too. Whatever you think, I think.
All right.
But I don't like them, to be honest. And then why is the emblem on the inside?
That is odd.
And then there's no ankle support. I'm turning my ankle.
Yeah. Gee, it's like wearing a moccasin.
Never wore them in my life. They stink.
I think they look very classic.
I don't like the look. I think they look pretentious and goofy. I think
pretentious?
You look like you're 5 years old.
Wait a minute. How can you be pretentious and goofy?
You can be pretentious and goofy.
Can you? Pretentious, I picture a guy in like a monocle.
Oh, well, once we're off air, I'll point out a bunch of people that are pretentious and goofy.
Please.
I think the very essence of pretension is goofy.
Well, I think
You're
guy
goofy.
Goofy is a guy jumping in on a cartwheel, going, "Hey, that's me."
No.
And he's juggling bunnies and wearing makeup.
That's certainly a version of goofy.
Okay.
But if someone pretending to be something else is goofy to me.
Okay. All right.
Like you're like a rock star with his hairspray and his fucking spandex. He's goofy.
Oh, and pretentious.
Of course.
I see. Okay. When I picture Goofy, I picture a clown, a guy who shoots you in the face with a flower,
Oh, that's fun. That's not goofy.
Okay.
Like being goofy, he's cool. He's goofy.
Goofy.
I don't know what the hell. Where are we?
Gaddafi? But your retard's another one. You go, that guy's retarded. It sounds a lot worse when you say that guy's a retard. You shorten it.
Yeah.
Also retarded, isn't that past tense? ED.
He's solved. He's stem cell research saved him.
Yeah, he was retarded.
Right.
Interesting.
He's retarding now.
Yeah. Oh, somebody hand me a Downsy. I spilled a coffee.
Oh boy. The phones have just exploded into pieces.
Yeah.
I got shrapnel in my asshole. My brown eye. When I was a kid though, retard was like
it was normal.
Like we would say gay and we would call each other fags at some point, probably more like 14 to like 18. But retard was we used that more than the word, bell. I'm trying to think of a word you use a lot.
That's one retarded bell.
Yeah, I mean, retard was just everything. He was a retard, you're a retard, she's a retard, my mother's retarded,
Totally.
my meal's retarded.
Yes, the microwave's retarded, the dog's retarded. Yeah.
That was like a cool word. That was like, everyone just said retard.
Yeah, you like that movie? That movie was retarded.
That's retarded. You thought that was retarded? You're retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Exactly.
This conversation's retarded. Everything was retarded back then.
Flame retardant. Yes.
So
I had a fun line. I was playing GoldenEye. Remember GoldenEye? James Bond on Nintendo 64?
Oh, I never had a 64.
I didn't either, but I'd go to my friend Jean. He was Belgian.
Oh,
and
fun. Sounds retarded.
And we'd play GoldenEye, and I would lose. I would always lose. I was the worst video game player on the planet. And they would shoot me all the time with flamethrowers, and I go, Jesus, how come my bitch is flammable? Killed!
Your bitch is flammable?
Because they kept lighting me on fire. And I was like, I think my girl's flammable.
Oh, you were a girl?
I was a girl, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were a girl. That's why I was confused.
They always gave me the lady.
Gee, you had some fucking horrific friends.
Oh, they were mean, man.
Yeah.
Inner city kids. They were tough and ugly.
Gee whiz, that's
Rough
a bummer.
and tumble, yeah.
I think I had some nice friends, but there was some mean, but not too bad.
Yeah, no sympathy with these guys. There was no like, you all right, man? How's everything going? I never had that asked me once until I was 41.
Yeah, well, kids don't really do that. Kids are not sympathetic or selfless typically.
No, not
But
these.
sometimes they are. I remember one time I fell on my bike. I was riding my bike through the, what do we call it? I forget what we called it. It was
the reservoir?
No, it was a path through the woods, but we called it the,
Rape alley?
No, it was that, but we didn't call it that yet.
Retard way?
The ramble, the bamble, the tamble.
you know
what we called it? Here it is. I got it.
Uglies.
I got it. You're gonna make fun. You're gonna think we're retarded.
All right.
We called it the roller coaster.
That's not bad.
Because there's a path and it went up and down. And so we would play like catchers and runners, which was like hide and seek with teams. And then you'd run, you'd like, Ronnie's on the roller coaster! Get him! And then, so then, we'd chase him, whatever the fuck.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it was really fun. Oh yeah, it was all wonderful. I had some wonderful friends. And then I'd ride my bike, and then one time I was on the roller coaster, and as roller coasters, there was a bump, and I hit my ball sack on the what do you call it? The bike. The frame.
The frame. The bar.
Dufresne.
Yeah, party of three.
Stands a reason he'd be here in the morning. So I hit my balls on it, and I remember being like, oh, it hurts so bad. And then, like, my friends stood around. They were helpful, Mm-hmm. It was like the old Regan bit where you smash on the bike, and he's like, get some leaves!
Yeah.
And I remember putting my hand down my pants. It was like the scene in Stand By Me with the leeches.
Yes.
I pulled it out, and I had blood. I cut my testicles.
Oh, my God.
I nicked it. It looked like a nick from shaving, because I didn't shave my balls at that. I don't now either. I should, but...
You should. It's pretty rough down there.
Hey, I tweeted the other day. Shouldn't we be grateful that our pubic hair only goes so, like a manageable distance?
Oh, that is hilarious.
Thank God
it's hilarious.
Thank God it's not like our hair.
Yeah, it'd be out of my pants leg on the bottom.
It'd be crazy.
It'd be tucked in my sock.
It just stops at 3 to 8 inches.
That's genius.
Could that be a bit?
That's huge.
I don't know.
I'm jealous about that one. That's a Letterman.
It's pubic.
got to get that on Fallon.
Now I feel like you're mocking.
No, that is a great observation.
Yeah, I mean, because that could be a nightmare. We'd be cutting our hair, we'd be going to the barber, the whole thing.
Right. Well, Mike Kaplan has that great joke about, isn't it great at some point we stop growing? Like, we could just still be getting taller at 49.
Oh, interesting.
But this is the same vein, but this is funnier because it's pubes.
Yeah, and there's veins in my pubes.
That's
on
right.
my balls, I mean.
Veiny is a plus. Did you know that?
No, what?
When it comes to the dildos, we got veiny, extra veiny, and varicose.
We're talking dildos? I thought we were talking penises.
Well, I'm just going with dildos here because that's all I know.
You gotta let me know we're talking dildos.
Oh, sorry.
We go from pubes to balls to dildos with no warning?
Well, I figure the dildo is a replica of a dick, so therefore if they like the dildo, they like the dick.
A replicock.
Thank you.
But I don't think I think a dildo you want to smooth. The vein that's a little vein. You need a smoothie to just get in there and smooth it up. They don't want bumps and humps.
You're so vain. But wait a minute.
Because I know a hangnail's bad in a puss.
Hangnail is bad on both parties.
Yeah.
That gets a little Bernie Sanders.
Get Bernie Sanders.
Gets Bernie Sanders.
2016. Look him up. He's good.
Jew from Brooklyn.
And a socialist, evidently.
Black Lives Matter.
That's not going to help.
No.
Black Lives Matter help, but the socialist is not going to help his cause.
Ah, right. But yeah, that's another thing. Hey, you heard about the blackout, the blacklash about, hey, how come Black Lives Matter isn't when black people kill black people? That's the big thing they're throwing out now.
Oh, interesting. I think they were throwing that up before.
Oh,
right?
that's the first time I heard it.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. It's all so confusing. I just read Time Magazine has an article about what it's like to be a cop in America now, and it's pretty insightful and interesting.
There's an angle you don't hear every day.
It talks about both things, but yeah, it's a nightmare job.
It's a brutal job. I couldn't imagine seeing terrible things happening and going, we have to go towards that.
Of course, yeah, and yeah, it's just it's hard. It's that whole issue is what's frustrating is it's not cut and dry on either side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's a lot of it feels like both people that argue are right to some degree and wrong to a degree, and there's some giant middle ground that people don't. But we talked about this before. What Louis was saying. There's no middle ground in a lot of issues now.
Yeah,
everyone's like, you're going to be all this or all that,
right.
And you're like, I think the answer almost always lies somewhere in between what you guys are both yelling.
Of course, and nothing is black and white.
Indeed.
Ironically. Sorry to interrupt you, kooky bastards, but I got a hot one for you. Us over here, we're a big fan of the old FanDuel.com. Week 1 games are almost here, so let's get cooking. You know FanDuel, it's the leader in 1-week fantasy football with more winners and more payouts than any other site. Play better than Brazzers.com, that's for sure. They're paying out over $75 million a week this football season. Salary cap format. Pick any players you want for just 1 week. Entry fees start at only $1. Anybody can play. That's anybody. I don't care what race, creed, or Jesus, LGBT, whatever it is. I've been on FanDuel. It's easy, it's fun, it's quick, and let's make some money. You know you don't have a good job. Come on. All right. So go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner. Use my code Tuesdays and sign up now. Special offer for new users. For every $1 you deposit, FanDuel will match it with up to $200 that gets earned as you play. That's a bonus of $200. Offer is only good for the first 50 that uses my code Tuesday, so get on it. Also, I should say our code. Sorry, Joe. He's very sensitive. That's FANDUEL.com. Sign up today. Back to the pod.
Yeah.
But back to the ball here. You got some.
Yeah, let's get back to the ball here. Oh, but anyway, so I jocked. I fucking bled. I had a cut ball.
Ugh.
And I had to go home to my dad. And this is, my dad and I, he's not a very talky guy.
No.
I didn't realize that back then. And I had to show him my nads. We called them nads back then.
Oh, you had to show dad nads.
Yeah, dad nads. And I had a little nick in there and it was bleeding and it was really nervous. I was scared I was going to have to get a stitch.
Ah, well, I got to tell you, I've had my balls sewn up, so.
Yeah, I remember the fence.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Just seeing that is very surreal.
But I ended up putting some ointment on. We had some testicle ointment.
Oh, good. Just in the medicine cabinet.
Indeed. So we put a little Testie Oint on there, and we did that, and it was fine. But I do remember my friends being concerned. I shouldn't have said that. My friends were really sweet guys when I was young. We were really helpful and sweet and thoughtful. But I do. Maybe we've talked about this before. I do always have issue with the movie Stand By Me, when the end where you were I never had friends again later in life when I was like I did when I was 12. Jesus, does anybody? And I always feel like I'm like, you should have better friends now.
Totally.
Like as an adult, your friends should be a better quality than your friends when you were 12.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Like your friends now should be like lend you money and sympathetic, and they should be more like, tell me about that.
Right.
When you're 12, your friends are great, but your friends, I think you did a joke about that, didn't you? Something about a t-shirt, you had the same shirt.
Yes.
What's that bit?
Oh man, that bit, I liked it, but it never works.
Really?
I love that bit.
I figured it was just on TV and you moved on.
No, it never got on TV, but it was just about how when you're a kid, it's easy to make friends because you just go, what is that, a He-Man shirt? You want to hang out? Something like that.
Right.
But now my friends we have the same lifestyle. We live in the same city. Like back in the day, you're friends with just proximity. Hey, we're in the same class.
Right.
Let's be friends.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing about your best friends I ever had were when I was 12. It seems a little weird.
I completely agree.
Don't get me wrong. My friends when I was 12 were amazing, but my friends now,
right?
If I broke a leg, they'd come to the hospital and whatnot.
Exactly. We'd throw you a party.
I do remember having my tonsils taken out. My friend Ron Reynolds came and like sat next to me.
Wow.
I was like passed out because I was all drugged up, and I just would go to bed. He'd be sitting there, and I'd wake up, and he'd be sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
Are you still in touch?
Every once in a while, he listens to the pod.
Oh,
I just realized this as we're talking.
Oh, good. I love this guy.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy.
Jeez, please donate.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to continue to be a friend.
See how sweet he is. Well, that's
how
great.
Sweet it is to be donated by you. Yeah, my friend Eric Westaver, he broke his collarbone, and we were all there when he came back. I think we all went to the hospital and whatnot.
How'd he break it?
I think he was jumping out of a tree. He was a real kook. He would always be in trees and jumping out of trees. And I was afraid. And there's another friend that they were sympathetic. They were really sweet because they didn't make fun. I was afraid to go I was afraid of everything as a kid. I'm afraid of everything as an adult. I was afraid to go in the deep end, and they were always sweet about that. And then I was afraid to go up in the tree fort, and they were really sweet about that, too.
These guys if I didn't go in the deep end, I would have gotten drowned.
Yeah, these were good guys. But there was also the other friends on the street, but I stayed away from them. They were the mean guys.
See, smart. I had no self-esteem. I was like, this is who I know. Let's go back. It was even like walking there would be like, all right, here we go.
Right.
And then you start drinking, and then you're like, well, this is fun.
Yeah.
But you have to get drunk to enjoy the friendship, which is not a good sign.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But
now I feel like I've got close, great friends. I love that Gary Veter's on America's Got Talent. We're all tweeting for him. We're all like, hey, vote. We're all posting.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and by the time this airs, which will be we're recording this on Wednesday. We recorded this 6 days ago, everybody. I'm pulling down the wall here. Ooh. I don't know if Veter, right now, he's up against it. He has tonight, so we can't even tell the fans to vote because
I know.
But if he made it, vote in the next round.
Yes. And geez, let's pray to God he makes it.
And if you're watching this, you hopefully watched me advance to the finals of Last Comic Standing last week.
That's right. How about that?
So I think next week the episode is on. I don't know. Keep an eye out. But if you haven't been watching it, I'm in the finals, goddammit, so watch that.
Yeah, and then you're also ticking away on that half hour.
Yeah, that's October 24th.
Oh, we got some time. Okay.
Yeah, but that now they're not releasing them every week. They're spreading out the half hours to really so they have good lead-ins.
Lead-in?
Like it'll be like a fucking Chris Rock's new special, and then after that it's Joe List's half hour.
I see.
Because they want to build an audience ship who's already watching. That's the plan anyway.
Got it. Boy, that's exciting. You're all over the boob tube.
I'm trying to be on the boob tube.
I love it. I love tubes and I love boobs.
Yeah, but you had tubes in your ears.
I did.
And boobs in your ass.
I'll take it. I like a boob on an ass. It's just two soft things connecting.
I just love boobs. What is it? Just a breath. I just love it.
They're so supple. They never hurt a soul, a boob. They give life. Literally, they give milk.
I like calling a person a boob.
I like a boob. It should be a positive thing. It should be a term. Hey, you boob.
Yeah, but a boob broken down to a person is not good. You just sit there. You're kind of silly looking. You're sexy.
Yeah, you're soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got milk in you.
You got a nipple sticking out of your face.
Right.
If you have the qualities of a boob as a human are not good.
I guess so. I mean, I want to motorboat you.
You bounce.
Yeah.
I want to just squeeze you and bite on you.
Right. Maybe lay a head on you.
Yeah. I'm not into the biting scene sexually.
I'll nib.
Yeah, I like a nibble.
I love a nib.
I like if she nibbles a little bit.
Yeah, corn niblet.
It's so hard to nibble without tickling.
No.
The other day I tried to nibble a toe and it just tickled.
Well, a toe is a tough spot.
Yeah. I nibbled an armpit, that's tickle.
That's also
I nibble a nipple, that's tickly.
The back of the knee.
Yeah, it's a lot of tickle.
Yeah.
I want to nibble with no tickle.
I've got it down pretty good.
You can nibble with no tickle?
You got to practice on like a baby corn.
Ah, nib and a tick.
Yeah, but I'm an ear nib king.
Really?
Yes, I have a sash.
I like to suck. The kings don't get a sash. They get a crown, you numbskull.
I got a scepter.
This sounds like there's some holes in this story.
I'm an ear nib queen.
All right. No, I think that's you're miss a nibble.
All right.
Miss a nibble.
Well, I got a scepter.
Ooh, I like the scepters. What about when Macho Man Randy Savage smashed his scepter off the Ultimate Warrior's head in 1991?
Oh, yeah, wow. How about that?
Here's a theory I was thinking about the other day, because I was talking about my passion for wrestling as a kid. And I remember loving it as a kid, and then reaching an age where I was 12, and I was like, well, I'm too old for this now.
Yeah.
It's weird for adults to be into it. I
don't like it. I gotta tell you, it bugs me a little. It really does. And I can't say anything because the nerds have won and all that, and then you're old man Norman. He doesn't get wrestling, and then you can't say it's fake because then people get all weird and mad at you.
Yeah,
it's just silly. John, do you like wrestling? All right, see, he doesn't like it. I don't get it.
Here's what I did. I like to go down memory lane. Are you familiar with the memory lane?
It's a cul-de-sac for me. I go down, I come right back.
I went down the lane, and I got a dead end. I have to turn around and go back through to get out.
I see.
So it's you get twice as much laneage.
Yeah, a little more memory.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, I went up on YouTube, and I pulled up the 1989 Survivor Series, and I watched a match between the Hulkamaniacs and the $1 Million Team. Mm-hmm. And it's an 8-man tag team. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is going to be fun. It'll remind me of my youth. And I watched it, and I was like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid, and it's silly, and it's
dumb, and it's embarrassing.
It's bad. And you know what else it is? It's retarded.
It is.
And I watched it, and I go, how are adults watching this nonsense?
Packed out. It's like fucking an arena.
Yes.
Adults in an arena.
And it's for children. This is for kids.
Of course.
Because as a kid, I didn't know who was going to win. I thought his arm was hurting him, and then he tagged him, and you're like, oh, what? But you watch now, and you're like, this is absurd.
It's absurd.
He's
it's
punching
silly.
him in the face.
I don't like it.
He's just punching him in the face, and he's breaking, his arm would be broken, then the leg drop, Hulk Hogan does a leg drop, and if it lands, it kills he's dead.
Right.
It's impossible to get him. But if the guy moves, and Hogan lands on the mat, he's dead. His back is broken, he's falling on the ground.
My favorite thing is when they do like a leg drop and they miss the guy, like say Hulk Hogan misses his face by an inch, then he always goes, damn it, and slaps the mat because he missed.
Right.
Like, shit, I missed. What do you mean, shit, you missed? Now he's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
What are you, crazy? And then the outfits, and then they have the little dumb speech in the beginning. I'll tell you, I was back there, and I'm gonna fuck him up, but he talked about my aunt and all that, and you're like, shut up, what are you doing? I want to just stand up there with a rifle and snipe him.
And what about the face paint? My God, the face paint.
The face paint.
By the way, we got to edit out the rifle. That's no good.
Why?
That's PP. You can't say you want to rifle somebody in this day and age.
You can't?
I don't think so, buddy.
Well,
we're getting shut down.
Lock me up. Oh, how about this? This is what I'm into. I saw this on Facebook the other day. It was these two gangs. I think they were Russian. I don't know where they were. They weren't American. And it was like 10 guys in white shirts, 10 guys in blue shirts, and they just at a street walking towards each other, going and they just get up to each other and fist fight it out, and then it just turns into a melee. It's a brouhaha.
Wow.
This guy's fighting that guy. One guy gets knocked out. He runs over, helps his friend, and the whole thing lasts about 48 seconds, and then they all stand up and walk away.
What?
That's fucking fighting.
Where was
good
this?
Stuff. I'll send you the link. It's amazing.
Oh, it's a website.
No, it's like World Star kind of shit, like with crazy clips.
Oh, wow.
But that's where I saw it. Now, once you click on one, they go, if you like that one, you might like, and I clicked on another one, it's these two gangs in, Bulgaria, and they go at it, and they just fucking red shirt, blue shirt, killing each other. It's and like tough Russian guys.
They're just like Legos.
I guess. I don't
Who won,
know.
blue or white?
Blue one on one, and then the red one on the other. And they're just face pummeling. And then there's one crazy guy who's like, I'll fight 8 guys, and he's killing 8 guys. Then there's one guy who's like scared and gets beat up immediately. It's amazing, social, observations. They're just watching the different kind of people. It's very psychological.
Wow.
Killer stuff.
I feel like blue should fight red now. It's like a tournament.
I guess. I'll say you got to see these. They're amazing. Just to have guys that tough going at it, just walking towards the enemy and just smashing together. It's amazing.
These fights scare. They make me nauseous though. People
I know.
fighting each other. It makes me scared.
I was talking to Soder about that yesterday. He's banging some girl, and the boyfriend is mad, the ex-boyfriend, and Tilda's like, if you want to fucking go outside right now, we'll go outside, blah. And I was just thinking, like, imagine actually walking outside and punching a guy over in the face till one of you is hurt so bad that you have to stop.
It's real silly. Wait, he was
crazy.
talking to an actual person?
Well,
like
he
that?
was just saying that to me. Like, I should
makes
tell
more
him
sense.
that, yeah. And he's not a fighter. I know Soder. He's a nice guy. But I remember just actually, I was walking away after our conversation thinking, like, you're going to go outside with a guy. You're both going to hurt each other, and whoever hurts more stops, and that's how a fight it's just such a crazy concept.
No, it's nonsense. It's real crazy. Adults shouldn't be fighting each other. That's for the kids.
Yeah, it's
Well,
odd.
kids shouldn't be either, but who gives a shit about them? They're dumb and they're bad friends.
Yeah, and like, he's just going to smash your face in the cement? Like, whatever he needs to do, he'll do.
I think we talked about this before, like a hockey fight or a WWF fight with his rules and a referee.
Yeah.
But out in the street, this guy can just keep smashing your face until you're dead and kick your teeth in. And
yeah, exactly.
hit you with a trash barrel like Sonny Corleone, you know?
When's it end?
Yeah, it ends when someone dies.
I guess.
Death.
The final curtain.
The final frontier. Were you a Star Trek guy?
Nah, my mom watched it. I wanted to kill my own dick every time I saw it.
She watched it.
My mom is a huge sci-fi dork.
Wow.
Yeah, she loves Star Trek.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Well, my mom, yeah, she's a smart weirdo.
Oh, interesting.
But it was just like, it's an hour long. It's very drab. You know, they're all wearing dumb uniforms. There's a bald guy. It was just... Every now and then they'd shoot each other with a laser. That was something.
I feel like we're just bleeding out fans now. The WWF, the Star Trek.
Well, I'm trying to be more real.
But I liked the Star Trek movies when I was a kid. I was into them. The part 4 where they come to the United States, there's whales involved.
That was okay.
That was real funny.
Yeah, I like a fish out of water.
Yeah, Sulu and there was something else there.
Yeah,
McCoy, I think.
The protons are heating up. Something.
How about Star Trek was doing diversity before diversity had to be a thing?
Oh,
they had the Scottish guy, they had a Vulcan, they had a gay guy, they had an Asian guy who was also doubled as the gay guy, but whatever. They had a black woman.
Uhura.
What's that?
Uhura.
That's not very nice, Mark.
She was expensive.
But they were really diverse in the 60s, man.
Yeah, and Kirk made out with her on one episode, and it was like a huge national
that's
thing.
right. That was a big thing. That was like Lucy and Des sleeping in separate beds or something like that.
Right.
Somebody was pregnant at one point.
And he was what? Puerto Rican?
Who?
Or Italian? No,
Metzger?
Cuban. Des.
Oh, I thought you were thinking about Kirk.
Oh,
that guy's as white as my asshole.
Yeah, he's a Jew.
ass cheek. Is that right?
He's a big Jew.
Oh, Shatner's a Jew. But
a
Captain
Jew.
Kirk is no Jew.
No, he's
Give
a
me a break.
Gentile all
He's
the
playing
way.
a Gentile.
Yeah, Spock was the Jew.
Is that right?
Also Jew. Leonard
And
Nimoy.
from Boston.
Spock?
A Boston Jew.
Ah.
Leonard Nimoy. Spock is from Voltron or something like that.
Vulcan?
Vulcan neck pinch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was also a great scene in the Spaceballs. What the hell are you doing? The Vulcan neck pinch.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you idiot. You got to do it like this. There you go. And
Yes.
he passes out.
Mel Brooks.
Now, see, that I got into as a kid. I was like, now this is good. This is
course.
fun. They're making fun of this boring show.
Right. But
Yeah.
Star Wars I enjoy. The new Star Wars, I know a lot of people have said this. When I first saw the trailer, I thought it was a Key and Peele sketch. He looks like Key and or Peele.
Really?
Yeah, the guy.
Black?
Yeah, he's black.
Who?
The new Star Trek guy.
Oh, Star Trek. Star Wars.
The new Star Wars guy. He's a good guy, and he's in one of the stormtrooper outfits, and his helmet's gone.
Uh-huh.
And he comes rolling in. The first trailer they released, he comes rolling in, like, jumps up, like, huh? What?
Oh,
and I was like,
yeah.
oh, this is Key and Peele. I
Right.
legitimately thought it was a Key and Peele sketch.
Oh, that's funny.
Because he looks kind of similar to one Key or Peele.
Right.
I haven't watched the show. It's not racist that I don't know them apart. I just haven't seen the
Yeah.
show.
Well, that's such a hack thing. Hey, we don't all look alike. I know, but some do. Just
Yeah.
like white people and Asians.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a bummer because I confuse white people all the time. Don't get accused of racism.
Exactly.
But you confuse black people, you're a racist. I'm
Yeah.
like, but I just confused those 7 white guys. I don't know anyone's name.
I know, and that black guy has the same haircut as the other guy, and they're wearing the same outfit. You know, like, why wouldn't I think they look alike?
Well, now that we're talking about black guys, let's talk about what just happened at Starbucks a moment ago.
Oh boy,
we're just painting a picture.
Infuriating.
We're at Starbucks line.
Yeah.
We've shot a great video over here with John Fatigate, Stand Up Labs, at the Meatball, what's it called?
Meatball Shop.
Meatball Shop, which is a great place to eat.
Oh, the food is spectacular.
Yeah, and the bus boys are the best in the city. But anyways, we shot a little video there that should be dropping soon. Keep an eye out. We'll keep you posted. But we're going to need that donate button to pay for the equipment.
Yes, and my socks have holes in them.
What's that?
Holes in the socks.
But that's true. I've seen some socks of yours.
They're not pretty.
They're not good.
Well, I don't clip my nails enough. And I
Right.
think they fight through.
See, because nails keep growing.
Yes.
Pubes stop, nails go.
This is all fodder for the bit.
Yes.
Good bit. I like it. If your
right.
pubes grew, that would be, you have to go to the barber.
That sounds like a Shel Silverstein book, if your pubes grew. But anyway.
For the pubic hair ends.
In my asshole. I just feel like saying asshole, to be honest, on that one. What the hell were we talking about? Oh, the African-American gentleman.
Yes.
And I use the term loosely, folks. We went to Starbucks, both terms. So we went to Starbucks, and there's a line of about 6 people in line.
Yeah.
I would say.
You actually walked in and said, "What's going on here?"
Yes, that's how many people were in line. I'm like, what the hell is this? There's a bunch of people everywhere. Well, there's a family, like a Dutch family or some Norwegian family, and they're all over the place. A lot of these Europeans come, and they're white, painting a picture, and they're picking things up, and they're looking around, and they're like, whatever the hell language they're speaking. And I'm like, just focus. Here's my thing. Don't get in line until you have your item picked out.
Sure.
Stand over there, think about it, look at the menu. When you have it, then you get in the line. Is that a crazy system to me?
Well, the only argument with that is if the line is long enough and you know you only need a little bit of time to pick it out, so you can use the line time for choosing.
Let me amend. May I amend?
Please. A woman.
Have your decision made by the time it's your turn.
There you go. I agree.
So however you gotta do it.
All right.
Come up with it in the car, stand over there, but whatever it is, have your decision. I don't like these people that they're next and they're going boobly boo, bop bop. They're pointing at this, they're pointing at that, they get their phone out, they're scratching their asshole.
Right.
All I want is a cup of fucking tea.
Yes.
I know what I want, just let me go.
Right.
And that's what I would do. I'd go,
Yes.
I don't know what I want, you go ahead. You stay, I'm ahead of you, I'll figure it out by the time you come. Anyways, we're standing in line, and the fucking Kiddes Flagarden family, they order. And then there's about 3 people left. Then you and I. You're just there for moral support. Good friend.
Thank you. Ronnie, Treehouse, Deep End.
Think my 11-year-old friends will be waiting in line for me. They'd be throwing eggs at me.
Yeah.
So we're up in line, and here comes this young gentleman, and he comes in, and he had the hat over both ears, by the way. The baseball hat over the ears.
The ears were tucked in.
What a goof.
And he was I think he was like doing construction. He was dirty.
Muddy, yeah.
Yeah.
So he comes in, and he cuts in between me and a pretty young girl, I'll say.
I agree.
Then they got the sweets case there with all the desserts, and he puts both hands on the glass.
Yes.
Both hands in the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Then he scans down, moves the hands.
Yeah.
Moves the hands 4 times.
Oh, you counted.
So 8 full handprints on the glass. Somebody has to clean that.
That's right.
Now, how can you be that inconsiderate?
Right.
You're smearing your hand, and he's smeared.
He smeared.
He didn't just move positions, he smeared positions.
Yes.
And then the woman goes, hey, all right, so whatever. And he goes, hey, can I get a chocolate croissant and a coffee?
Yeah.
Literally cutting, I'm not joking, 7 people in the line.
Easily, and it was obvious. I mean, there was no, how could he be confused?
Yeah, there's a line of people, and he squeezed in between 2 of us.
Yes.
And puts his handprints all over.
Yes.
And starts ordering, and we go, hey, dude, what are you doing? There's a line. He's like, what? Oh, shit. That's what you are physically in line. That's how you would describe it.
Yeah, there was a line behind you.
A line of people.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know. And the woman's like, oh, were you not net? And I was like, just go ahead. Go.
Yeah,
You've already ordered.
Right. And he was fine, totally fine with that. He was like, oh, go? Okay, got it.
Great.
So I would be like, shit, sorry, and just jump back.
I'd leave.
Yeah.
I'd go, I'm so sorry. I'd take my own life.
I know.
And I'd get some Windex and clean the fucking window and be like, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole.
It'd be nice.
But this guy's just smearing. And don't get me wrong. It would segue because it reminded me because he happened to be a black guy. I'm not saying black people cut in line and smear their fingers on glass. This guy I've seen plenty of white people doing annoying, horrible shit. And I could talk about one of them
Please.
in just a moment. But, man, I fucking hated that guy.
I hated him too.
Not because of his race.
No, he's just a piece of shit, but there was no remorse.
No remorse. He's smearing. It was just fucking him, and you can see him. It's just wind all over the fucking window.
He was smearing impaired.
You don't need your hands on the glass, and he's peering in. Just look.
I know. He was looking through it was like a jewelry case, but it's like croissants, donuts, cookies, and he was looking in like a kid at an aquarium looking for the fish.
Yes.
It was crazy.
And he's like, and he ordered by saying, let me get it, which I hate.
I hate the let me get it.
Let me get it this, let me get it that.
Yeah.
Can I, please? Last night, I called Sanford's Diner in Astoria, white guy. He answers the phone. I go, hey, I'd like to place an order.
How do you know he's white?
I could tell, and then I saw him later.
All right.
Well, he was white. He was like Greek.
Greek.
That's white, right?
Yeah, Greek's white.
He's European. So he answers the phone, and I go, hey, I'd like to order takeout. He goes, hold on. And then just puts me on hold.
Wow.
No, not a please, can you hold?
Yeah.
No, hold on 1 second. Would you mind holding? Just hold on.
Yes.
Hangs up.
That's and I hate the whole like, well, hey, New York City, huh? New Yorkers, fuck that. Just be nice.
I hate that too. It's not hard to be polite.
Yeah.
And then one more thing. This happened, and this is a white girl. I'm at Starbucks the other day, and this happens a lot. This is an epidemic. I order my tea. I pay for it. She gets the tea bags, puts it in the cup, fills it up with hot water, and then just holds it. She's in a conversation.
That's insane.
She's just chatting there, and my transaction is done.
Yes.
If you just extend my arm, your arm,
Yeah,
I can
her
move
arm.
on with my day.
Yeah, let me leave.
You're holding that's my possession.
Yes.
I paid for it. It's complete. And she's just chatting. Oh, yeah, the Red Sox lost to the Dick Faces.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, well, just all you have to do is keep talking and hold your arm out straight, and I
Right.
can take the cup.
Oh, God.
These people, the inconsideration makes me fucking crazy.
I know. Think about someone else. Also, the Dick Faces are going to the playoffs.
I heard that. Playoffs. Anyways,
Yeah,
you got
that's-
anything that stick thorns in your paw or
I
side?
got a paw thorn that it's more of a craw in my dick or an ass in my anal. I'm walking down. I was so hungover. I think I want to say Saturday morning that I took a guilt jog, and I just running around the city, and I'm just covered in sweat. I'm hungover. It's hot as balls out. I'm an inch away from my door. I walk it up, and a guy goes, "Holy shit! Huge fan of the pod."
Ooh.
And I go, "Oh my God, get up!" But I was so still hungover and anxiety and sweaty that I was like, "Oh man, thank you so much." I wanted to give him some love, but I was so beat. And he's like, yeah, man, that was great. I'm a big fan. I was like, thanks for listening. That's lunch. We love you. Keep listening. Some great episodes to come. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry about Yamanika. Yada, yada, yada. And he was like, yeah, sure, man. He he was kind of looking at me like, yeah, all right, you all right? Like he had a weird look. And I was like, all right, cool, buddy. Keep on trucking. And I open my door, which is odd. He knows where I live. And then I go in my house. I get to the mirror. I have a booger the size of Gibraltar.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, this was a hangy, wet, green fur ball.
Fur?
I mean, it was a hayseed, baby.
Oh.
It looked like an avocado pit. This thing was huge. And so this guy is probably like, oh, it's funny guy, but on TV, I listen to him every week. Oh, look at that fucking disco ball.
Oh, gee, maybe he thought it was like a Andy Kaufman with the fake bug.
I can only hope. Because that was pretty, I mean, if I would have seen me I would have been like, well, this guy's off his meds. or something.
Right.
I look bad.
I saw a fan on a bike the other day, and right in my neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
A bicycle.
Huh.
He was a kid, and he was excited, and he was really happy. It was a great moment. I was having a bad day,
Wow.
Not a bad day, but I was like bummed about some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was walking by, and he was on a bicycle. I was on my way to the gym, and I was like, oh, hey, you live in the neighborhood? We got fans in the neighborhood.
In Queens.
Hanging out in my neighborhood.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so a lot of fans. And thanks for pointing yourselves out, or whatever you say, and saying
Please.
hello and stuff. And
Do it every time.
yeah, and the email us at TuesdaysWithStories@gmail, and hit that donate button.
Yes.
And tweet at us, Instagram, all that business. It's so appreciated.
Oh, we love it. We love you. And just know that this could be big one day.
Oh, it's gonna be big. It's already big.
We're hitting a nerve. The texts, the tweets and everything we're getting are so nice, and people really care. They're like, I listen to all of them in a row every Tuesday. I look forward to it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and if you've never tweeted or emailed, shoot one.
Shoot one.
Take it for a spin. It's fun.
We'll favorite it, and if it's clever enough, I'll retweet that son of an onion.
Well, that hasn't happened yet, but
From the Tuesdays account.
yeah,
Yes.
That's the side account. We'll do whatever on that. I post pictures of my dick on there all the time.
Sure.
Yeah, follow us on the Twitter at Tuesday Stories, because what that does is it makes it look like we're doing well, because we have a lot of fans, but only like 800 people follow us on the Twitter, because there's not that much incentive to follow the Tuesday's Twitter, I guess.
Well, I will say we've got I think $1,000 now.
Yeah, just about 1,000.
It's pretty good for a pod.
But yeah, follow us on the Twitter. But thanks for reaching out. And I think it's going to be a big show. You guys can be we'll be the underground team.
Yes.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and you guys interact. Start a goddamn Reddit, whatever the hell that is.
Well, somebody did, but those Reddits they make me nervous. I don't want to read those Reddits.
I don't know if I get it.
I don't get it. I don't get it, Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's mean people write shit, but maybe nice people also. But I read an article on, I think Tommy Johnigan sent it to me at slate.com about how internet trolls are actually bad people.
Oh, good.
They're like sadistic, misogynistic, whatever the words. Mm-hmm. They're like clinically, scientifically shitty human beings.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, but there's been like studies that like these are pieces of shit human beings that are like, fuck you, you fucking fuck.
Yeah.
So, fuck that. But we don't get too much of that. I feel we have a nice, sweet fan base.
Yeah, we only get the genuine, this episode sucked. Come on, guys. I miss you. Why didn't one go up this week? Blah, blah. We get that shit.
Right.
Which is also flattering.
Yeah, that is nice. Boy, I'll tell you, I had a real moment this past weekend. Can I tell you about it? Now that we're all sucking each other's penises?
Yes, hit me.
I was home visiting the family and did some shows up in Boston. I was at the Kowloon. Up in Saugus, just legendary Boston. Pure Boston, North Shore. And here's some fun facts with the Kowloon. Maybe you've heard of it. It is one of the top 10 highest grossing Chinese restaurants in America. And it's the number one highest gross... Wait, what did I say?
Highest grossing Chinese restaurant in America?
I fucked up. Top 10 highest grossing restaurants in America. And it's the number one highest grossing Chinese restaurant in America.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
It's always packed, big pointy. It looks like the IHOP, but much bigger. And nice people. The Comedy Club's been there for 25 years, and it's if you want to do a show and feel like what Boston is all about, Boston attitude and like those Boston crowd, that's the place to be. They just hate you. You walk up there and they're like this, so what?
Really?
Yeah, fuck. And you gotta really win them over. It's tough.
Wow.
It's tough sledding, but when they come around, they're the best. They you kill and they love you, you know?
It's like a black room.
Yeah, it's the opposite of a black room because it's Boston, so it's pure white. But they're similar. We're all very similar.
We're all similar.
Yeah, and when it all comes down to it.
It's all environment.
Yeah, but it's a classic old restaurant, and they're just printing money up there. But anyways, the shows were great, and then I did Saturday night, and I met up before the show with my friend Ira Proctor and Artie Januario. And Artie...
What a name.
Yes. Funny story about him. He met George Carlin at a book signing. He positioned himself to be last. So we could chat with him. And he told him he's a comic. And he told him his name, and Carlin, this is like early on, and Carlin's like, I love the name. He kept saying it, Januario.
Wow.
January. He kept saying it. He goes, don't let him change it. He's like, they're going to try to change it. Don't let them.
Wow.
Don't be anything. And Artie was like, okay. And then Artie started working at this club in Boston, and the guy was like, let's call you Artie J. Or Artie Jan.
Wow.
And Artie was like, no way. I'm not doing it. I like
love
my name.
it.
George Carlin told me not to, so I'm not doing it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I've told you about my George Carlin.
Yes.
Okay.
But tell it again if you want.
I don't want to cut you off. You got a Saugus.
I'm in Saugus.
A saga about Saugus.
Yes. And so I met up with Ira and Artie. And sometimes you go back and you meet up with these guys that you started with, and you kick around old times, and it's just beautiful.
Oh, it's great.
We had cigars, and Artie started like 4 months before me, and he was older. He started when he was 44. I was 18, so he's like my dad. And it was like this great trip down memory lane. And Ira, you know, we've talked about him. He's one of my closest friends. I love him. And so we had a good chat. It just feels good. And then I went and did the Kowloon, and then Artie was at Giggles across the street. We met up. He watched my set. We talked about it. We hung out. We sat in the car. We chatted. He gave me a cigar.
Oh.
Then I drive home, and I'm driving the same ride I rode when I was 18 and 19, you know. And I'm just thinking, I'm headlining the Kowloon.
Yeah.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, it's just some Chinese restaurant in Saugus. But to me, if you go back to like 18-year-old you, I remember being like, God, I'd kill to MC there. I want to just MC. How great would it be to work at the Kowloon?
Oh, that place is legendary. I've heard of it.
Yeah. So I headline it now, which is exciting. And then I went home, and I was in my mother's backyard. They had gone to bed, but there was still embers from their little fire. They have a fire pit back there.
I love a fire pit.
So I kicked up some logs, got the fire back cracking, and I just sat and had my cigar that was given to me. And the woods, my parents, they live in the woods. You've been there. Oh,
yeah.
And there's crickets going off.
Yes.
Whatever the hell those noises are, I have no idea.
I believe it's a cricket.
Yeah, and it's like in stereo because it's the woods. And I'm sitting there having a cigar and reflecting in my mother's backyard. I Instagrammed a picture of it. Check it out. And then all of a sudden the fog starts coming in, so I'm getting like little dribbles of drips. There's condensation coming in. I got the fire and a cigar, and it was a real moment.
Yeah.
I felt like it just felt like I felt alive and happy and at one with my gifted cigar. I hung out with some old friends. fans and headlined the Kowloon and said, hey, this is pretty good.
Wow.
It was really nice.
That was beautiful. You painted that pic, baby.
Yeah, I was wet with dew.
Ah.
And then I went inside because it was getting too dewy. And I watched the Lifetime movie about Full House, the unauthorized Full House.
Oh.
And it is a real piece of shit. It is so fun.
Some girl got raped, I believe. Something happened. Jodie Sweetin.
I know she was on methamphamoine.
That might have been it.
Like that.
I get those confused.
Yeah.
Meth and rape.
I think they're probably intertwined often.
Aha. And I know Danny Tanner the producers like, don't say cunt, don't say cunt.
Yeah.
They'd like be beaten into him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What? Tell us about the Carlin bookstore.
I feel like I've told it on here before, but we'll
tell it again.
We'll knock it out with this. So I used to work at the New York Film Academy. It was 2007. I see George Carlin's doing a book signing at Borders. Mm-hmm. He was my main comic who got me into it. First guy I ever heard, whatever. So I was like, I gotta go. I moved to New York to do comedy. I'm only in New York a month, maybe. I moved here to do comedy. I gotta meet my idol, whatever. And so I lie to my boss. And I say, hey, I got a doctor's appointment, whatever. I just totally lie to him. I haul ass down to Borders. I wait in line, and it was annoying because it was this big, like, I'm selling my whole loot. This is all, every book, everything, every CD. It's all one box set, package, everything. And everybody in line was like, this is the guy from Bill and Ted. This is the guy from Jersey Girl. This is the guy from Dogma. And I was like, you fucking retards.
Right.
What are you, crazy? This is the biggest comic ever. Mount Rushmore, Titan of comedy, the game changer, 7 dirty words, whatever. So I hated everybody in line. They're all like, oh, yeah, you're a great actor, and, blah, blah, blah. And I get up there, and I'm like, I'm going to make my Mark Normand. I'm going to really show him I mean it. I'm going to really just kiss him and ooze everything I got, all my love for him. Let him see it. I'm going to shine.
Yeah.
And so my friends were in line before me, but they were a couple up. We got mixed up. And, they were just like, hello, George. Here's my book. And then it was like Soup Nazi. They walked up, and they took 2 steps to the right, and they left. And I was like, oh, not me. I'm going to bring it. So I go up to him, and he's miserable. He doesn't want to be doing this. And I go, hey, Mr. Carlin, back in town. Best special ever. And he goes, and I go, complaints and grievances. Not bad either. And he goes, and I named like 8 more.
Yeah.
And then he goes, all right, kid. And I go, I'm a comic. He goes, yeah, you sound like a comic. And I go, get out of town. He goes, kid, you got a real talent for jacking around.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea what it means, but somehow I do know what it means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you jack around.
I jack around, and he knew it right out of the gate.
Right.
And he goes, what's your name? And I said, Artie Januariaro. And no, I said, I'm Mark Norman. He goes, well, stick with it, kid. You gotta be something. He didn't say that, but he was like, stick with it. Don't ever give up. Keep writing. Keep writing. I was like, you got it. Thank you. And I was walking away and I'm holding the book like, all right. And my friends are like dying laughing because the jacking around thing.
Right.
And that was it. We got a picture together.
Wow.
I'll post the photo.
I've seen the picture. It's a great pic.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. I'm so glad he died a year later.
Wow. You got her in just under the wire.
Just under.
That's great.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet man.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Carlin.
Yeah. The greatest.
One of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
He has a great story. Did you read his book, Last Words?
Of course.
He has that story about how he bombed that audition at the bitter end and walked around New York crying.
Yeah.
Only problem with Carlin, he couldn't hang. He hated hanging out with comics.
Yeah, that was always weird.
Yeah.
He talked about that. It's so strange to me.
He felt like they were one-upping each other all the time. It was like,
That's all I want to do.
I feel like he was hanging out with the wrong guys.
Yes. He should have hung out with us.
Yes.
I only want to do comedy so I can hang out with comics.
I know.
The work is annoying.
But it's got to be the right comic.
Of course.
You've been at the cellar where you text me like, ooh, this hang is brutal,
Right,
the gang here is rough right now.
Yeah. When I say comic, though, I mean the comic I want to hang out with,
Isn't that funny how the cellar, all these random comics get booked or whatever, and it's just like a Yahtzee shaker full of comics, and you happen to be with the shitty ones.
Yeah.
Every now and then you get that good Yahtzee shake.
Of course. It's the best. Well, like the story I told with Stuart and Litwood, I texted Donnelly. I'm like, anyone fun hanging out? And he's like, nah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a half hour later, it's Jon Stewart, Rory Albanese, and fucking Louis C.K. and Donnelly and me. And I'm like, well, this worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a good Yahtzee shake.
We had a great one 2 nights ago. It was me, Sam, Mackey, Donnelly, and Wolf.
Wow, that is a good one.
It was a good hang. And
Boy.
Hamilton.
Oh, I love Hamilton.
Great guy.
All right, we got to wrap up here. We're going lengthy.
This was a fun one.
Yeah, it was a fun one, and all the things we already plugged all of them. But check out the donate button. That would be great. Stand Up Labs NY. Stand Up NY Labs.com, and then click on Tuesdays with Stories and throw a donate. That would much appreciated.
Please.
And subscribe and all that crap. And thanks for the emails and thanks for listening. We love it.
Yeah, email in. Where are you going to be coming up on the road?
Oh, I don't know. Well, check me out on Last Comic Stand. We got the big finals coming up.
Yes.
October 24th is the half hour. And then this is the big one. Last weekend in October is the Laugh Boston, up in Boston, Laugh Boston, October 29th, 30th, and 31st. And this weekend, I'm at the Arch City Comedy Festival in Columbus. I love Columbus. So come out to that. And Henry Phillips is also on, Beth Stelling, and Al Jackson. What a crew.
Oh, great crew.
Going to be a fun fest.
Take some instas of that.
You know I will.
And I'll be doing a little West Coast run. I'll be, when this comes out, I'll be at the San Francisco Punchline on Tuesday. And then that weekend, I'm at the Sacramento Punchline. So I'm doing a weird run. Tuesday, Wednesday, San Fran. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Sacramento.
Those are killer clubs. That's going to be great.
Great club, yeah. And then the Oddball in Toronto. That's Sunday.
Great city.
Yeah. Come on out, folks. Follow us on Twitter and hit us an email. Let us know what you think.
All right. Thank you, guys. We love you.
Retarded.
See you next week.